And it's thinking we're live. Whew, some technical difficulties this fine Tuesday. Hello.
Welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as J Nitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And of course, I didn't look at, this is episode 290. Can't remember, 298. We had a bit of Zoom was having some troubles on my machine. It was my fault. And had to reboot machines and get to going. So everybody that was kind of hanging out in the lobby talking about food, I'm sorry for the delay. Live, but delayed.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it was just, I don't know, maybe with Zoom lifting restrictions for the holiday or something, there's just more traffic. I don't know, something happened.
That's what happens. Technology sometimes strikes, right? It brings us together, but it also sometimes creates little mini issues in our life. So yeah, happy holidays to everyone. Super. I know some people have time off right now. It's called, I believe they call it Twixtmas. It's between Christmas and New Year's. But I've been working this week. We've got some 2021 planning, nothing like waiting till the last minute to do at work. So have you been enjoying your time off?
Yep, really have. I've been, like one of my favorite things this week has just been doing projects around the house. So I've been to Menards twice and because that's the closest home improvement store to me. And yeah, it's been great.
Did you save big money? That's what we always ask after Jeremy gets back from Menards.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, so just doing a few things in the bathroom renovation that were not planned, but once you get a shiny new shower, you're like, oh, that vent cover has a little rust on the corner, and the light switches are really old and they're not as solid as they once were, right? So it's like, okay, well, I can replace those things. Those seem easy. So been to the store a few times. Thought about replacing my light fixture, but fortunately, it didn't work out. So I fully cleaned the light fixture that was there and put it back up, and am happy with the results. Replaced the bulbs, cleaned it up, and just gonna keep the old one.
Yeah, it's like new.
Yes. Well, and actually, the bulb replacement was the big thing. It just seems so dim in there. But the bulbs weren't burnt out. Put fresh new bulbs in there, and again, they don't offer that size in LED yet, or at least that I found locally. And so just fresh new incandescent bulbs, and boom, it's bright in there again. So
yeah, and then it helps you see all the other things. That it's funny. I've had many home improvement conversations with people where they're like, we just went in to do this, right? And then all of a sudden, like you said, it kind of makes your eye a little more in tune to all of the different things that could be done. Kind of the new stuff kind of sticks out like a sore thumb, right?
Oh yeah. No, and my cabinets and my flooring are the same, right? And I'm like, well, that we're just gonna live with for a while and see if it really bothers us. I don't think it'll be that big of a deal. We can just leave it. I've already got a quote for repainting the cabinets. They're in good shape. They're just a little rough. Look like they need a new coat of paint or something.
Yeah. My you mentioned going to Menards. My husband has been the designated shopper in our family. But I finished my cardigan for my mom and did not have any appropriate buttons. Like, again, those finishing touches are so important, right? Like, I'm not going to slap some like subpar buttons on this opus of a fabulous project that I created for my mom with, like, I hunted for the favorite color and I, painstakingly did all of this stuff and then just slapped some subpar buttons on it. So I went to Joann's and got some like the perfect buttons. So I have not made
Oh, okay.
because yesterday was when I went out to the store, but they are like iridescent, like they have kind of that depth of color to them.
Bigger than what I thought you would have needed, but
yeah, they were a little bigger. So that was kind of I brought the skein of yarn with me, which is pro tip. You don't have to take the whole huge sweater. And then I was like, oh, but are these big enough? Are these too big that they won't fit through the hole? And so I bought some less than perfect ones that were
yeah.
backups. And then I bought these and I had a Joann's coupon for 50% off. And so it was like I was getting them for free. These were the free ones. If they work, I justified it, the mental gymnastics that it took. And they fit through. So they will be a little bigger than the ones that were on my cardigan. But the, knitting is kind of flexible, right? So got to get those sewed on, and then I'm taking them to UPS. So this is my favorite gift that I'm going to give. And unfortunately, it hasn't gotten there yet. I think you were mentioning that you had some gifts that haven't quite made it yet. But it's just a hug of a project for my mom, right? So I'm super excited. Those were 2 of the 6 sleeves that I'm working on finishing by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And, that was again, I said last week that I was showing it off because you weren't going to see it again. Pivot, you see it again. That was with CC's Yarn Babies in the Northern Lights colorway. And it washed up like a dream and it knit up like a dream. And I'm just so very happy with it. We'll be looking forward to the day when I can see her in person wearing it. So
absolutely.
Yep. The other favorite gift that I gave, and again, Susan gave me one kind of randomly, but for stocking stuffers for my kids, I got these Zox. They're called ZOX. And they come with like a little, so Ellie's is "Be You Bravely," like kind of a mantra. So this one is an Anne Frank quote that says, "Whoever is happy will make others happy too. He who has courage and faith will never perish in misery." And so they are bracelets that I put into all the stockings. This one's Quinn's that says "You are enough." And you can wear that on the outside, or it can just kind of be a personal message to yourself on the inside. And then they've got pretty prints. But just something about giving my kids like an inspirational message was, and kind of a mantra card or whatnot, was fun. You can store them on that mantra card. So that was another one of my favorite gifts. So it was gifted to me, and then I re-gifted the joy of Zox to other people. I sent my mom one that said, "You are my sunshine." She always sang that to us growing up. So
cool.
Yeah. So those were 2 gifts that I always, that's my favorite question this time of year, is to ask what your favorite gift is that you gave. My favorite gift that I received was this Schitt's Creek Alexis Rose-esque initial necklace. And so with mine, conveniently, if it's upside down, it looks like it's a W. If it's right side up, it looks like an M. And so I've been wearing that. Jeremy got that for me, as well as a Rose Apothecary t-shirt that hasn't arrived yet. Thank you, mail. I'll be just receiving gifts as over time.
Yeah, my sister-in-law says that there's something for me in the mail. So we'll see. When that shows up. But and then I sent her gifts yesterday via FedEx. So similar. I chose the non-USPS route to make sure they got there.
Yeah, yesterday I actually ventured in on my tour of Rochester to the USPS and mailed off our mail swap yarn, but I stood in line and made sure that they scan them in. So even if they sit in Rochester or St. Paul, hopefully we'll be able to track them at least, because that was kind of disconcerting.
Right.
It was like it hasn't even been scanned in at the on some of my packages. So I know at least that they made it to the Rochester one and got scanned in, and didn't just put it down a slot where it would get pushed somewhere and not scanned in. So um, but other than that, I'm super excited. So I mentioned my 2 sleeves that on that, and then I've been working on my pickle pullover, and then I've got my Sparky that I have sleeves on. So I think it was Steph Knitting Samurai that was like, when you're a monogamous knitter, you never know the joy of finishing 3 sweaters in 1 week. And I'm going to have it.
5, but you know.
Well, this is 3. This is the first time I'll have the joy of finishing 3 sweaters in 1 week if I can get it done by so that I can do my New Year's cast-ons. Super excited about those. Do you have anything that you're going to cast on for New Year's?
Yeah, let's see. I have the Mitchell's Creations trio that I bought a while back that is going to turn into a kinship.
Ooh.
I think that'll be very beautiful kinship.
Yes.
You know, you look at some patterns and they have all the speckles and whatever. The kinship was just straight up, we want you to use solids, right? Like it, and I just happened to have a trio that was very solid. So excited about that. Yeah. And then I have above me, because of the technical difficulties, I decided to start winding my fiber fates here, or fable fibers, sorry. Yeah. So it's this beautiful red.
Sweetheart and Brain.
Yeah, and then just really dark and crazy. So this one's going to be a nesting. Hopefully I'm going to find my already stained up ball that has gone missing, because I only have 4 right now. And I know the 5th one's out there wandering around. And I know that even 5 for the size I want to make is going to be like yarn chicken. But Megan says she has some in her stash.
I'm here for the backup. I think we both got sweaters quantities out of that, and I haven't knit mine into a sweater yet. So
right. Well, and I think I bailed you out with something else that we got at the same time one time too. Like I had a sweaters quantity, just enough to make something out of I forget what it was. I think it was a green yarn, and you're like, I need the ball. So now I only have 2, which I made into something else. So no worries.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I think the only other thing that let's see, I had something. Oh, I was going to appreciate my local coffee place, Lumian Coffee. That's one of my favorite things this morning, is going and getting this coffee.
Coffee is always one of my favorite things.
And then I asked before the technical difficulties began to get a count on when our retreat is. So countdowns are another favorite thing. So we have 175 days, guys. And Friday we'll be able to cast on for all of our knitting wonders. Yeah. And then I inadvertently held up a spoiler. So Megan and I ended up getting the Sock Squad Farm to Needles from Farmer's Daughter's Fibers. And again, I'm reading so that I don't get it wrong. And so that came in the mail today, and I'm really excited to show people. And here's the spoiler part. So it's called Rodeo Butts. So it's this beautiful denim color. And then she lists on here the mill that it was milled at, because that was the appeal of this particular one, is that it would come from mills directly for this purpose. So yeah, I don't know. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, those are my favorite things this week, is like looking forward to the retreat and next year and all the KELing, the cast-ons that are going to happen. Again, I signed up for this, so I'm going to have a year of monthly squishiness coming to my door. The first one, the color, the more I look at it, because I just opened this like an hour ago, it's just really cool. It's denim. I mean, it really is the color of blue jeans, and it's called Rodeo Butts. It's got that subtle, white that's in there in the stitching of your jeans, or not even the stitching, just the weave of the jean. I don't know. I like it. So those are my favorite things this week. Yeah. And again, I don't have much else.
Yeah, no, mine, in addition to the gifts, and I'm sorry, my son's phone is sitting here ringing, if you can hear that. Hopefully Zoom is obscuring that for you. But I grabbed, so for my my Stephanie Lotvin Telly Bean Knits top, I split my self-striping in half. This is lightning in a bottle from Knitterly Things, which won't give me bonus points, but I saw this when I was going through my self-striping and I couldn't not do it. And then this is Woolmines, which is 150 grams in one skein, which is perfect. So I was like, well, no bonus for the ZKKAL, but lots of joy there. I think this one has a little bit more of the blue on the outside versus this one. But I made them so that they started in the same place, so that when I'm knitting across the top, that when I'm seaming it, the stripes will match.
Well, but a reminder that, we do have Telly Bean as a bonus, right? That's, you'll get one bonus.
Yes, absolutely. So her Knit Happy, I know I saw some happy folks out there talking about theirs arriving if you pre-ordered it. Otherwise, I saw actually out on the threads here, folks are on the chat here, people were saying that theirs had arrived early. But this is the Bright Axis tee. A little bit of a glare there, but super excited about it. This is going to be some nice Zoom knitting because it's knit from the bottom up, and then you split, and it's like an applied edging across, I believe. But just some fabulous projects in here, and I probably should have had this be my favorite thing so that I could talk through all of it. But like she's got the Sock Arms cardigan. So if you were a big fan of the Sock Arms pullover, she now has it in cardigan form, which has been yelling at me, you want to cast on. This Colorwork sweater is gorgeous. The backlit tee.
Is that one fingering?
It is.
I have kind of a longer stripe set that I'm kind of thinking might need to go into something like that.
Yeah, this one's super fun. Shawl, a really great way to use up some self-striping. It's the Daring Double Shawl. Super pretty. Absolutely love it. It's such a fun book. Onward and Outward has this spiral in the middle, which is super pretty. But yeah, the one that immediately jumped out at me was that top that I showed you that I was ready to cast on. This cowl is nice. It's got a split, which is fun. I don't know that I've ever knit a split like that, but just super inventive way to use all of these, your self-striping and not a sock in the book, right? So a great way to the glitz knit to use your self-striping. This one's fingering weight as well. So yeah, if you were part of a self-striping of the month club like I was, and you've got a lot of self-striping in your stash, these are the Rainbow Adventure fingerless knit. I believe
I actually got something similar to that for babies. Back when my kids were little, it's like not just socks or something, and it was about what you can knit with self-striping yarn, but it was all for youngins. So
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that one's the sharp curve. Oh no, that's not the sharp curve mittens. Trying to figure out what that one is. That must be the sharp curve. Yeah, that makes sense.
interesting. Yeah, construction wise, right?
For sure, for sure. You'd want to make sure that you got your rainbow if you're doing rainbow ones. But yeah, I really enjoy a good self-striping. And as you know, with my SKUs, I really enjoy doing interesting things with those stripes. So this is a really great book. We're going to be chatting with her, not this weekend, but next weekend. This weekend, we'll be talking through our goals, maybe a little bit of a huzzah, what we accomplished in 2020. So hello, 2021, goodbye, 2020. And then we'll be talking with her. We've got the Learn New Things, which is the ZKKAL, as well as the ZKNKAL. So I'm going to be doing, it's kind of a sub goal of mine for 2021 to knit more from my books, but I just had some really great books come into my life. So I want to do these Crossroads mittens that are DK, or double knit, not DK. So I'm planning on doing those. So doing a lot of project planning while I'm knitting away on sleeves. And then I want to get some of the Operation Sock Tour socks on the needles as well, right?
You are enabling me for sure. I mean, I have been waiting for when I want to cast on to buy my Interpretations Volume 7. And I keep thinking like, oh, one of these days I'm going to get a bee in my bonnet or whatever, and I'm going to drive up to a yarn store and actually buy it in person rather than trying to either order it or just buying the digital copy, because I have a lot of digital copies of things like that. But yeah, that, and then the Telly Bean, right? Like I'm waiting for the cast on to buy it, because I bought the Colorwork Bible that you showed and the Operation Sock Drawer, and I haven't started anything yet. So
you started those leg warmer socks, right?
Oh, that's true. And then I stopped because I wanted to have the second one count for yardage.
Got it. But yeah, just a quick shout out. Jessie is doing a KAL for the Colorwork Bible. You get points for taking pictures on Instagram. She did an Instagram live that was great to kind of talk through some of the things that you could do for it. But you can get points for swatches, get entries for swatches, you can get entries for posting on Instagram. So a plug for Jessie there. She came and spoke with us at ZKN. And I think it fits perfectly. You could get double, right? You can get points added in for RKAL, and you could learn new things, right? So there's brioche in here, right? So if you did the brioche swatch, I know a lot of people were talking about brioche as their new skill. So there's the Kanai or Kanai shawl, that's brioche. But yeah, if you just want to learn brioche from this, I'm going to learn double knitting. And I think that's great. And then also in January, I almost said 2021. So in 3 days, a couple of days, we're going to be doing Tunisian crochet along with, Tony Lipsy as well. So I don't know that she's got her KAL details out there, but it's going to overlap with ours and her coming to speak with us. So
yeah, I'm excited. I do want to at least read day one, and like chain something to get started. But yeah, you were talking about the socks, and yeah, I finished one, but I ended early because my calves are really big and I wasn't sure about it, but it might need to be knit the full length. Also was worried about yardage, but I figure I can't cast on the other one until January. So that's what I'm doing with a lot of my socks, is just trying to finish one. And then in the new year, I can put up the one sock that I knit in the new year. So that's my plans this next few days, is to finish 2 socks and a shawl so that they're done, so I can cast on a new and not be worried about those lingering projects.
Yep. No, I'm all sleeves all the time. I'm gonna finish them so that I can cast on fresh new projects. and work on them monogamously and not feel like that lingering, like, no, I have so many things on the needles.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe get a sock on the needles, although my sock knitting has definitely subsided with not needing the like around town on the go type projects. I do want to get an operation sock for one on the needles. And yeah, I don't know. It's just it's just fun. It's just fun to plan. I guess it's kind of an arbitrary like starting of a year, right? But I appreciate I'm a goal digger. I dig goals. So
Yeah, I just happened to think, and we had been talking about all these things coming up. We have a learning session tomorrow.
yes, yep.
So if you are new to the KEL altogether, or new to the new process, this year we're doing it a little differently. We're entering our yardage on Google. So we're going to do a kind of lunch and learn, but it's at 5 o'clock. And so please, if you can join us, I sent that out on Monday to all of our retreat attendees. So if you can join us, ask all your questions. A lot of our excitement and chatter is going on in Discord.
Yep.
So you might
I would not say
notice
a lot. I would say almost all, right?
Right.
Like if you've been out to Ravelry, you've seen that there's very little going on out there. And there's a lot going on in Discord. So yeah, we should probably actually put that link. I'm trying to think of where I want to should put the link, but I mean, if people are interested in joining Discord that aren't ZKers, that would be a good primer for them as well. So putting the link in Discord wouldn't quite make sense. They need to bootstrap the getting onto Discord so that they can find the Discord learning session. But yeah, excited about that. Excited to show folks what we've got going on out there, and welcome even more folks to the Discord fun. So.
Yep, absolutely. And we'll definitely record it and make it available afterwards. Hopefully your question will get answered by the community, or asked by the community and answered by us. We plan to do kind of a short get started, and then hopefully have it opened up just to people's questions.
Yep. Yeah, and we've had quite a few questions out in the Discord threads already, just about the ZKKAL, how, not just necessarily the form, but just like you were saying, if you cast on and you cast off, that half of an, that pair of socks, you can count the one, similar with the Advent type blankets, right? If you cast on and bind off, that yardage can count. Yeah, there's all kinds of, I don't feel like we're rule heavy.
Right.
So there are lots of edge cases where questions abound. So.
Right. And it's just for fun. So if you feel like you want to add something that doesn't count, don't stress about it.
Yeah.
Knit what your heart desires, and don't worry about the points.
Yeah. Well, I'm a perfect example, right? So I did have 716 knit self-striping, and I did have Fiber Nymph self-striping, and this was the one that sang its siren song to me. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm just, it's not all about the points. It's about loving what I'm knitting and the finished object, and one set of extra bonus points of it being Telly Bean is enough, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Don't let it change your enjoyment of the KAL or your craft. Yeah.
Right. So like Megan said, if the perfect thing isn't the fitting of the bonuses, you still get credit for the things that you knit. But again, I don't count adding to my sock yarn blanket or my bigger crochet blanket, because I'm just adding in. It's not a fresh cast on, and it's not I do cast off, but it's really hard to count. So I don't, I still do it. I just don't count it.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And we're talking about casting on things as goals, but you can totally have goals to stash down, or, you know, we both know somebody that went through their stash and really, I'm going to knit these things, right? Because these are things that have been in my stash a long time. This Woolmize Pure was one that I was like, I've had this in my stash for a really long time, and I'm going to feel really good about getting it out of my stash. So, yep, same, right? Yeah.
I like, can we even, like, we can document this. I don't remember when it entered, but I know that there is evidence somewhere that, yeah, part of a birthday gift.
Yes.
Yeah, sweet hearts and brains.
Yeah. So yeah, we have rambled on about things that we are excited about. That's kind of par for the course about the favorite things. One of my favorite things for the year of 2020, which doesn't feel like it abounds with favorite things, has definitely been our online community and growing that and bringing people together in this kind of virtual setting. I pause to call it virtual because we're all very real. You guys aren't, you know, automatons and bots that I'm interacting with. You're human beings. And while we can't physically be together, I feel like 2020 has brought us together. And yeah, reflecting back on the year, there's not a lot of, you know, great things. I'm sure that other people, you know, babies have been born. My brother got married in 2020, and there are small there are things in people's lives to be positive about. But when I look back, 2020 is going to be ZKN. We started that up. We pivoted on ZK 2020, and all of the fabulous people that brought into my life. So I'm thankful for all of you guys. My 2020 favorite thing has definitely been this. So.
Yep. And podcasting weekly now. Like, I keep thinking about, well, what will happen when we can get together or when we have to go back to work? And it's like, oh, will this time slot even work, you know?
Yep.
Pivoting again.
Well, we're getting very good at pivoting and being flexible. So again, I just appreciate all of you, and I send so much love out to you because you guys have brought me comfort and joy in a year that would have been very hard. So
yeah, I know that lately when these things come up and the things that bring you joy and happiness, I've been thinking, oh, happy day.
Yep.
So that's my new saying. Whenever I hear or see those things, that's the thing I want to reply the most to people. Oh, happy day.
Yep. Yeah. I can't not hear Whoopi Goldberg and the cast of Sister Act 2 singing that, which included a very young pre-Fugees
Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill. Yep. Yeah, I can't not hear them singing it. So even when you were singing it, I was hearing their voices in my head.
Well, that's good because not my voice. Their voice is much better.
Yep. All right. Well, see you guys in 2021.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye, Ufta.